Hello, you dear wanderers. So I thought while I'm waiting for the other video material to kind of mature as like fine wine, I'm gonna give you a tiny tour in the garden because why not? So we're going to start with the front and then we'll move in at the back. And for the first time in 2+ years, ever since I started recording and making some videos, I will show you some footage. Unfortunately, I didn't start to film when we moved in, but I will have cool pictures for you how this garden was looking in the really beginning. Hope you enjoy it, and let's get to it. So we're starting here in the front garden, and as you can see, everything kind of in the ground planted. I planted it just to thicken up all the trunks, and it's a nice barrier between you and your neighbors. A few of air layers still waiting to be properly pushed out new roots, although almost all the maples were cut off already. Is that not too warm for you, mister? Let's start in here. You will see all these videos very soon. This is a nice big oak what I was working on earlier in June, reacting to the pruning very well. I have a lot of trees at the front because not everything fits kind of to the back. Also, I cannot really put everything up into the glass house because I need a bit more kind of control than I have while they are here. These huge maples were planted in here just for air layers, and Adam came over just this weekend and we did cut off a good few of them already. Almost all of them kind of ready to being cut off. You see, these are really massive trunks. So I bought these trees just for those purposes. And hopefully in a year or so, or 2 or 3, we can put these ones up. So have some deodar cedars, pretty unchecked till I'm going to decide what I will do with them. Same, if you remember when I was planting the big forest where we were at the back, I did dig out this huge cherry, and this is how it's looking now. In the first year or 2, I don't really like to air layer these trees which they were just coming out from the ground. I let them just be as they are and accumulate a lot of energy, so next year will be hopefully much more success. All taper development on the birches. Can take off the suckers at the bottom. There's a lot of trees now, so a few of them I'll just let them grow wild. And we planted zelkovas into the ground. I want them to be mother trees for seeds. I have a good few matured ones, but nothing for seed row, so this will be actually 3 of them. You see down there. And then we move on. More maples, more air layers in the making. Although I tried this maple last year and the year before with 0 success, as the others were all rooted just fine. I will just give a few more weeks or a month and we will see after. One of them willows which they were growing from a cutting. You see that down in here. And then we got a nice white wisteria at the front. I don't need to tell you how beautiful this was. In May, when I was building this beautiful forest. You might seen it when I was made the video out of it. And the aquatic plants booming. I mean, literally blooming and booming. And the spiders enjoying them as well. These blue flowers just took over as well. I'm not really bothered. They're just so beautiful with their flowers. So the bees and us enjoying them as well. More and more Japanese maples in the making. I was already cut off 2 of them. And later on I will show you in the maple greenhouse. If you've seen this, when Adam did a tour in our garden 2 years ago, he didn't believe it, but guys, that maple, I collected a seed in the botanical gardens in Dublin, and it's called the Cappadocian maple, kind of with the big leaves, but they are very nice and yellow in autumn. And if you believe it or not, this tree was planted 4 years ago now, and it got 2 major structural pruning already. This is kind of a nice shade for the rest of the plants and for the mister. Let me take you to the back. So we're coming into the back, but before I wanted to show you this. It looks like a plum. The owners didn't really know what it was. I thought it was a crab apple, but it's not really the case. I will show you later why. So this big baby will have radical treatment next year, but I will show you that when the time will come. In the meantime, it will sitting in here. We're using all the banana peels, just to throw in here for extra potassium. And then on your right, when you're coming out, look at that. So we styled this cypress forest, bold cypress forest, with Adam back in March. And the plan was that it will come to that stage and the stems will kind of bronze up. I will give another maintenance pruning, although I changed my mind because we styled the primary branches back in March. So I want to wait till October, November. I will just leave it as it is, got a bit of fertilizer. And I want to style the secondaries as well. And then maybe from next year, we will start to aim for ramification. And we have some redwoods. And also, as I told you at the front, we started to cut off our maple air layers, which I always kind of keep them in shades. So they are just there, down there, enjoying the shade. And then this is our quote-unquote entrance to our garden. You see all different species here as well. Almost every single tree here is in development. More of these beautiful oriental hornbeams. And then you have this big beech forest in the training as well. It's more like on a feminine side, so it will be a really huge quote-unquote forest. And if we turn to the left, so we have more trees in trainings, and I'm trying to execute almost every single tree in a different shape and style. This beautiful Japanese screen I got from Wazakura Japan, which I'm using the tools from. They gave me a present for Christmas, so they surprised me with this handmade Japanese calligraphy, which it means that basically is their logo, which that means Wazakura Japan. Very nice of them. I use their tools ever since, so if you like to try out very cool high quality Japanese tools, I would definitely encourage you to use my affiliate link, which I will leave in the description. And that will grant you 10% off discount for one time. But then let's continue. I got an orchid for my wife's birthday, and just getting into buds just for her birthday coming, which is very nice. A huge grey, what I got from my sister from Hungary, will be made as bonsai. And then, as I showed you before, I like to do some DIY projects. So you see these wooden cassettes, or if I can call them, I made them out all from recycled pallet wood, because otherwise you just have this, white coating on your house. So I just thought that I will add a bit more rustic feeling to the garden, and I think it turned out really nice. It was for free. I literally just used sandpaper and then different stains to give it a bit more color. And then it comes to our sitting area. This is where I spend a lot of time, especially in June when the weather is nice, and then you can sit outside the whole day, even after dinner. These are experimentations of rock sculptures and pots. Now in here I made wheat tea fertilizer, which I will show you very soon as well, and I made a whole video out of it. Push my limits, so I made a wheat tea fertilizer powder. That's interesting. So from here again, I built all of this stuff. Not all my projects are perfect, but they are, handmade, and I'm happy with them. So if you're coming out from here to the garden, on your left side, I always wanted to have a nice display, and it's getting there. So you have a few collected trees from this year, a few older ones. And then another beautiful collected material from this year. I really love flowering trees, and also hawthorns are a bit special for me and for the Irish folklore, that these are the fairy trees. They are coming up nicely as well. And then here you will see a huge ale layer. Sorry about the sun, but don't really have any other options. So you see at the top the height. We just cut this off this weekend, and I will tell you why. Because I needed a replacement for one of our apricot trees, which I just chopped back. And then not just like having a replacement, but if you see the color of these leaves, this will add a nice beautiful contrast to the garden. Also, this tree flowers really like tiny white flowers, as it's a Japanese ornamental red plum. And so we're moving on. This is the pear, what I styled with you a few weeks ago. This is just sitting there and waiting till November. And you see in this big forest as well, I made it like 2 years ago, on a slab which I made myself. I like to experiment with cement, although I need some more lightweight mix, as those ones, if you see. And we're moving on. Guys, you really loved this Cascade cedar build on Instagram. We got like 1.5 million views, which is amazing. How many people of you interested what we can build with nature. And then this big baby. Pruned a few weeks ago, and it's already started to react very, very nicely and on a positive side. This is kind of the jewel of the garden, at least for myself. It's a really unique, I would say, composition, which gives me a lot of experimentation on mixed bonsai forests. So this is kind of scenery what welcomes all of people who would like to join me on a workshop on one-to-ones, as I started to having workshops from last year. So if you're interested on a one-on-one for a full day, you can contact me. I will leave the email below. This is the shoujo, which it's hanging on there. It got really nice and hot summer this year, which I cannot complain about, but the tree does a bit, but it will be just okay. And then this is a new display what I built in March. I'm really happy how it turned out. I can sit in there, you know, shaded out and then protected from heavy rain. It's not perfect, as I said, but it does the job. And then you see, so I can film from this side, and introducing this big baby. This is another oriental hornbeam. If you see the other ones, their leaves are a bit scorched, because coming from Hungary there we have plus 40s, even more. But this big tree was kept in here, and it just been joining the iris summer. This will be up potted into a nice pot next year, and I can't really wait when it will go into it. This is a really, really massive tree. And then you have our new display, which I have few trees already in pots, and then few trees already in, and then few trees still in training. That's another hornbeam what I did with you on YouTube. An experiment on a cascading apricot. That's turning out nice as well. You will see a lot of fruiting and flowering trees, what I really, really love. And then moving on, there's another hornbeam, which I will show you what I did to it very soon. We have a collected larch. When I'm saying collected, when I do collections, I only do from my yard or someone else's. When I'm mentioning collected, this is what I mean, okay? It's a nice other hawthorn coming back as well. More larches. And then the Mr. joining the sunshine with me. And then we go to our pond. You see now the water lilies. This year, like it flowered last year and the year before, but not really this year. I guess as trees, it flowers 1 and 2 years, and after kind of like skip a year. And then another big Miwaki or garden tree. You see that scar there. That was another A layer cut off just this weekend. And then we got this wisteria taken over. And again, this tree, it's a purple one, flowered massive this May. More trees in the ground. This redwood will stay in here as well, just to add a bit more, not just contrast, but like different species to the garden. Now let's go into the first glass house what I made. Although before we getting into it, you see all the seed pods from the wisteria, and of course I will collect it and we will plant them. And hopefully we will get as much success as we did with all these apricots. So these apricot trees I planted this year. I started germination in last November. So when I got the seeds, I put them into the freezer for a month. And then in kind of January, they went to the fridge for 2-3 weeks. And then after germination, I kept them inside, but I'm doing a very long video because I documented every single thing about this apricot project. Because I have older ones here as well. I do a lot of apricots. I don't know, like it's the leaf shape, it's the flower. Don't know, I really, really love these species. And they are way easier propagating from seeds as I thought. So these ones are just sitting kind of in here. And when I did some quince as well. So these are Chinese quince. All I got it from the shop. And they all germinated as well. When you know me or you see in my videos, I do a lot of tree production from seed. This is a really nice shishigashira what Adam gave me for my birthday. So this is doing really well. And then I got seeds for, you don't really see Korean hornbeam anymore online, not even seedlings. So I planted a good few of them last year and they're doing well. They're really nice. They're having red flowers the end of season. Then I have air-layered sugar maples, which they already rooted as well. Really happy about it. And then one of my quote-unquote students, it's a really nice lady from Kerry, coming up to me almost every 2-3 months. And we did this redwood forest with her the last time she was here. Because if you remember, the big one was on a slab. She fell in love with it and she bought it from me. So if you're in Ireland, guys, at least for now, because I don't really want to ship anywhere else just yet. But if you would like to buy some trees, let me know or get me in contact and we can talk about it. So that was the first one we put together with her. And then, look it up in here. So, this is another great what my sister sent me. And I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. Last year it pushed a bit of, fruit, but on this scale, I would never imagine that the Irish climate can handle to produce these grapes. So here's a question for you, okay? Should I just pick them and we going to enjoy them with my missus? Or do something a bit more crazier and then do you want to make some wine? I'm from a village where winemaking is so traditional, especially in Hungary. So almost every person has their own vineyards and wine houses. I might do it. If you would be interested, I will definitely do it on front of camera. How that would be, but then let's say goodbye to this glass house and we're going to check the other one. More air layers. These are ferns. This is the first lantern what I made 3-4 years ago actually. It's having its hard time with the weather, but I do some maintenance on it. And then you have another maple in here. And when you're coming out, this was the apricot what I cut back and I wanted to have the replacement as the plum for it. Was cut off even 3 weeks ago, and you can see already new buds coming up. There will be another big video about it, so but I just wanted to show you in here. More layers, few of them there need a bit more time, but I've seen roots on that one as well, so that will just take a few weeks, I would say a week or so. And this one is another A layer from that big plum what you've seen. I'm just sitting down in the shade right now, just waiting for the roots to develop. And then you have this big cherry tree. This is not for making any more bonsai out of it. This will be the queen of the garden. And we will just keep it as it is. And then we have the tanuki still growing really, really nicely. So here we are in this maple shade house, I call it. I'm so happy that I built it. It survived 3 or 4 huge storms, and ever since it's just doing its job very, very well. You see that it's a nice shading in here, so this is exactly what you want for your A layers. And so this is the A layers from this year, and then we have the A layers from last year as well. Few of the seedlings from the glass house, as we cut this off. So this is what it was coming off from this branch. It is basically this tree. I'm not going to tell anything about it because Adam is working on this video, but keep tuned on Notion Bonsai YouTube channel and you will see it soon. So I keep all the maples in here. As I mentioned, every single one of them, it's an A layer from last year. I did a bit more thinner branches last year, but they were all success. So this year we did huge and big ones, which were all successful. So it's nice and humid in here. It's not hot, but it's on the warmer side, which is perfect. Like you see how much it grew in these years. And then again, this year harvest. After harvest, I'm not just using sphagnum moss for the A layers, but I'm using the sphagnum moss even after and for the potting. So and yet more calm. It's a nice little arch, just enjoying the shade as well. So that's about the maple house, if you want to call it that way. No, okay. So as you see now, close back the door just to keep nice and humid. This is the rain barrel I use for watering. And then what else are we having in here? Let's have this nice bold cypress. It's one of these big red oaks. This completely goes red when it comes to autumn or fall. And also I just really love oak trees as well. Here's another Japanese maple, which is enjoying the last month of summer. And I'm gonna get to the end. As I mentioned, guys, I'm working on a lot of material and a lot of videos as well, but I don't really want to just put it out to being put it out, so I'm waiting for them to mature a bit more. Guys, thank you so much to all of you who stayed that long with me. And did I promise you pictures of the garden, how it was looking when we moved in? I did. Let's see them. So these pictures was taken just when we moved in 2020 March. I have not seen back then how the garden would look in 5 years, but I seen the potential the place had. If you put your ideas into making with sweat and hard work, everything is possible. And guys, see you all very soon